a career support peer with Humber's Advising and Career Services team at the Lakeshore campus. I'm also a fourth-year student in the Bachelor of Commerce Human Resources Management program here at Humber as well. I'm really excited to be joined by Sandra Lutry, who is the Sustainability Manager here. Today's conversation focuses on sustainability in careers, specifically how students can speak about sustainability skills and experiences in interviews and in the workplace, and even if sustainability isn't the main focus of their role. I have 6 questions prepared for you. Please feel free to let me know at any point if you would like me to repeat or clarify any question. To start us off, tell us a little about yourself and how you came into your role in sustainability.
Great. So very nice to meet you.
Thank you, likewise.
Yes. So as she mentioned, I'm Sandra Lutry, the Sustainability Manager here at Humber. So primarily I manage the sustainability reporting, communications, programming, and internal and external engagement here at Humber. So I didn't have the most linear path in getting into sustainability. So as we talked about earlier, I actually have a bachelor's in commerce. So I wanted to kind of understand how the business world worked. And then I moved directly into the charitable sector. So kind of a little bit of a fun 180 there, but wanted to use that background and understanding to see how it applied to the charitable sector. So I worked there for a couple of years, and that's where I really started to gain an interest in sustainability and really started to understand it from a more kind of holistic perspective. So huge interest kind of again growing there. From there really kind of went back to school. I did a master's in sustainability.
Wow.
and then I worked in corporate sustainability consulting a couple of years, and now I'm here at Humber. So yeah, again, not the most linear path, but really kind of following this passion here, and very happy to be here. Humber is very, very innovative when it comes to sustainability, a leader in many respects. So yeah, happy to be a part of the team.
That's amazing. Is there one thing specifically that captured your attention about sustainability in particular, or just in general?
Sustainability at Humber, or sustainability in general?
In general.
Yeah, I think with regards to sustainability, it's so many issues can be solved by looking at problems in a more sustainable way. So for example, when I worked in the charitable sector, I worked for an organization that managed food rescue and food recovery for essentially excess food throughout the entire supply chain. So there's so much food that was going to waste just because it was either too much or it didn't look pretty enough to get by.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. So you're seeing so much food going to waste, but when there's so much food insecurity in Canada. So again, sustainability really kind of comes into play when you're looking at the big picture. Why is that happening? How can we kind of connect the dots here to make sure that this excess food is going to people in need? Why is there so much excess food that's happening? How can we make sure that that, again, is being used to help people that are in need? And what can we do to the broader systems and to help mitigate those issues?
Wow, thanks for sharing. It's
Yeah.
interesting to realize that.
Yes.
And my next question, why should employers want students or potential applicants to learn about sustainability, even if it's not part of their daily responsibilities?
So sustainability is really a part of every single role. Essentially, every job includes decisions around people. It includes decisions around resource management, risk, future planning. So decisions, but also tasks that are associated with that. So employers want applicants to know about sustainability because all of those aspects are super pertinent to successful businesses, to successful organizations. If you're not looking at people management and resource management in a sustainable way, then effectively you're not necessarily future-proofing your business accurately. You're leaving that on the table essentially. So it's really important that we're looking at sustainability in a manner where it shows and kind of really brings to light the key parts about again, resource management, people management, social equity, space creation, inclusion in the workplace, and that's really, really valuable to employers.
Is there any wellness aspect for the health and safety branch?
Absolutely. Again, sustainability is really interconnected with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Looking on the wellness side of it, it's all about, again, the people kind of management side of things, making sure that people feel included, making sure that there's equal opportunity and equitable opportunity, wellness, making sure people are taking care of themselves and they're getting what they need personally through their workplace so that they can thrive appropriately. It's for sure around wellness. There's a big component of that.
That's really great to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
How can students demonstrate sustainability awareness without having a specialized background?
Yeah, again, as I was mentioning, it's really important to kind of look at how sustainability is kind of impacting your field. So taking a moment, really stepping back and saying, okay, I'm in a nursing program. How is sustainability affecting nursing? Thinking about it a little bit more holistically. And again, for sure there's that waste piece, so maybe we can think of resource management, especially, again, just using the nursing example, there's a lot of kind of limited capacity and resourcing, so how can we use resources in the most appropriate way? And looking at the people side of it, how are we making sure that we're advocating for patients? How can we adjust communication styles for patients? And again, that's all around sustainability on the people and enviro side of things. So just really kind of looking at it from that perspective of how does it impact my field and my day-to-day tasks, and trying to speak about that in interviews, but also doing that in the work in your jobs.
That's really great to hear. If a student has an opportunity to discuss sustainability in an interview, what concrete examples can they draw from coursework, campus involvement, or work and volunteer experience?
For sure. So I think with anybody, when they're thinking of sustainability and kind of how they're integrating sustainability or their experience with sustainability, it's really kind of taking a step back and not thinking first already, okay, what can I do to heighten this or to really fix this and to be integrating it a bit more? Taking a step back and think about what am I already doing with regards to sustainability? Taking a second to reflect on that is really important. In your coursework, maybe you were in a group project, and again, you were adjusting communication styles. Maybe your time management was super strong there. So that's about managing resources and kind of doing that efficiently. Maybe you were really took a while to look at all the buildings at Humber and seeing how efficient they were with regards to energy, and you took an interest in that and you were researching that. Maybe some of your coursework integrated sustainability concepts. So at Humber, sustainability is one of the Humber learning outcomes. So the goal is that all of the students leave Humber with a sustainability mindset. So maybe in some of your coursework or a capstone project, sustainability was integrated, where you were asked to not only build a product, but also consider the types of materials that were going into it. Is it easily recyclable? Is it biodegradable? Can we swap this for a more sustainable type of material that we're looking at? So taking a step back and thinking of the things that you were already doing. And again, it may not have been called sustainability, but really trying to remember those concepts of people, resource management, and future proofing.
On that, Sandra, what can you say about how students at Humber can integrate sustainability into student engagement at Humber?
For sure. So we first off have a sustainability ambassador program. So it's a fantastic program where we bring in students who volunteer and we train them on sustainability concepts. So that's a part of it, and that's really great. That's kind of the lead into that, and then students can work with us on multiple events that we're hosting, so it gives them really hands-on experience with sustainability. You can also attend those events that I was mentioning, and they're, as I was mentioning before the interview, they're kind of a very broad spectrum of events. We hosted one recently about sustainable winter crafts. We've also hosted careers in sustainability, so really kind of all over the place. So you can come to those events, you can volunteer to be a student ambassador. Lots of opportunities. We also try and host one or two field trips per semester. So those are sustainability-based field trips. So one we actually just hosted was at the ROM, so the Royal Ontario Museum.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Amazing.
really good.
Yeah.
A bunch of students came, and essentially what it was we got a guided tour. I believe the tour was called Climate History, Climate Hope, and it walks students through climate change, kind of what caused it, where we're at right now, and where we're going. So very, very informative. And the one we did last semester was at the Black Creek at Pioneer Village, looking at gardening and agriculture from a Western kind of colonial perspective, and then also looking at it from an Indigenous perspective as well. So yeah, should be fun. So lots of different things that we're doing. So events, the ambassador program, field trips. If you are interested in your own initiative, you can always come by our office, talk to us, kind of bounce ideas off us. Always happy to support students.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing,
Yeah,
Sandra.
of course, yeah.
And what are the biggest misconceptions students have about sustainability in the workplace?
Yeah, this kind of goes back to what I was saying before, but I think thinking about sustainability as this is a waste problem and this doesn't impact my career or my field. And again, a lot of folks think that unless sustainability is in the job title, it doesn't necessarily integrate into your field of work. But again, sustainability is something that needs to be integrated into every single field. As I mentioned before, it really does touch all these different aspects of it. So that's probably the biggest misconception. I'd say another really big misconception is folks think that, okay, I'll just get my career started, I'll work for a couple years, and then I'll think about sustainability in the longer term as something I can do once I get established, maybe once I have more decision-making power at work. And that's great thinking of sustainability in the long term, but sustainability is something, again, that can happen really at any point. If you're integrating sustainability into your work, you're using your time more effectively, you're helping create more diverse and inclusive spaces, you're being able to manage resources more effectively. All of those things, it doesn't matter where you're at in your career, all of those things are very, very important to helping build a successful career. So I think that that's probably the second one, I'll wait to do sustainability in the future, but really ignoring that it's in the now and it's something that we should be working towards presently.
For sure. And how can people implement more sustainable solutions in their careers, even if their job title doesn't suggest it's a sustainable role?
Yeah, again, really kind of looking at those options that I mentioned before, resource management, people management, and people inclusivity and equity. So really, again, taking a step back and looking at each task as how can I integrate those in a proper manner, and really kind of looking towards the future. And that's a big part of sustainability. So it's resilience building and future proofing. It's looking at a problem and saying, will this problem still look the same if in 10 years we're affected by climate change in a more substantive manner, where things are probably heading? If in 15 years, will this problem look the same? What can I do to make sure that my solutioning will last? And what can I do to make sure that I'm contributing to good so that it's not creating harmful problems in the now?
And my final question, what sustainability skills or knowledge areas do you think will be essential for the future workforce?
So I see sustainability, it's very foundational for every single profession. Sustainability is truly interwoven with systems thinking and critical thinking. So I'd say that those two are probably the biggest sustainability skills that you can take away. But again, also social awareness, equity, resource management, ethical judgment, care. So making sure that we're properly caring for people, we're properly caring for the planet, and what are the hard skills that come around that? It's really that future-proof thinking and that critical thinking. So I'd say that those are probably the biggest ones.
That's amazing. What are some ways that the Sustainability Office spreads awareness about sustainability issues? And so it could really help students prepare for their jobs, for their careers. Mm-hmm.
For sure. So it's something that we do every single day. So we run that through the Ambassador Program, so the Sustainability Ambassador Program at Humber. We also do it through multiple events that we host. So actually in October, for example, is Fair Trade Month. So Fair Trade, it's a certification, if you haven't heard of it, essentially just certifying that where the products came from, the supply chain that it's attached to is actually good and responsible. People are being paid appropriately, land is being used appropriately. So we actually promote that certification here at Humber. We're actually a fair trade campus. So doing things like that is very important. So kind of getting the word out around that. So that's just an example. But we do multiple events on campus and professional development learning for both students, staff, and faculty.
That's great.
Yeah, around sustainability and sustainable issues.
So that concludes our session, but before we wrap up, do you have any final advice or tips for students who want to build sustainability into their career journey?
Yeah, so I think starting to realize how you're already integrating sustainability into your work, into your hobbies, into your lifestyle is a really kind of good starting place. Talking to your professors about how you can be integrating sustainability into your field. They're the experts there. They really should be able to help you with that. Also just learning more about sustainability. In April, Humber actually launched a massive online course that's free. Yeah, it's essentially Foundations for Sustainability, Introduction to Sustainability and Climate Change. And it's very, very informative and provides a really good kind of base understanding for folks who want to get more involved and gain more awareness of sustainability and kind of the concepts behind it. So taking a course like that, free online, you get a badge certification for it.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks really
That's
good on
great.
resumes for employers.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of taking that first step and again, talking to your faculty, figuring out what you're already doing, taking that course so you have a bit more of a foundational knowledge so that you can move forward with these.
How can someone sign up to take that course? I'm definitely interested.
Okay. Well, if you just Google an introduction to climate action at Humber, you'll actually see the website page pop up. If you're a current student like yourself, there's one kind of way to log in. If you're external to Humber, there's another way. But yeah, it's right there, right on the website. Again, it's free, open to anybody, and really is in line with Humber's sustainability vision of education, sustainability education for all.
That's amazing. And then the person who completes it gets a badge afterwards?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So they get a badge of completion.
Wonderful. That's amazing. I
Yeah.
think I'll sign up.
Good, do
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, very informative. Yeah,
Of course.